Hello everybody, welcome to Dale's. My name is Dale and I am coming to you from Manitoba, Canada, a very smoky Manitoba, Canada, I might add today. It is Sunday, September the 3rd and I'm in my dining room because it's also very, very warm and it's warmer upstairs than it is here. So I chose this spot for my video today. We've been having an extremely hot spell here in Manitoba, and it's for the September, it is actually way too hot. Yesterday was 38 degrees Celsius. That's way up in the 90s. 40 is around 100, so it's quite hot, and it's not common weather for us anymore at this. Usually around this time of year, we're around 25, 20. You know, a nice day will be 25. It's usually more in the lower 20s. So it's been a very hot and dry August, and looks like September is starting that way too, as well as it's been really smoky. I mean, it's been smoky everywhere, hasn't it? But this smoke is coming from the Northwest Territory still, and we either get it from the west fires or we get it from the north fires. And it seems like it's very, very smoky almost all the time. And I have asthma, and it's not so much the smoke that's bothering me. If I stay in the house, I'm all right, but my allergies have gone bonkers. I've got, you know, sacs underneath my eyes. My head is always stuffed up. And I think that's more because of the dryness, the drought, and also harvest is well underway. Right outside town here, they're harvesting their crops and there's a lot of dust in the air. So yeah, it all kind of, the smoke and the dust and all the allergens at this time of year are kind of playing with my sinuses and my allergies, but that's okay. So like I promised you in my last video, today is going to be about knitting. I haven't done any video about knitting for quite some time, and it's not because I haven't been knitting, I have. But it just seems like I'm all over the place with what I'm doing lately. I have been doing a little bit of everything, and I'm not accomplishing anything because I'm doing a little bit of everything. Or so I say I'm not accomplishing, but I really am. So today I have some finished things to show you. I have some things I'm working on. I wrote a poem about the knitter, which I will share with you. I have bought a few things, and I'm also doing a little bit of crocheting. Crocheting always was my thing, not knitting. And I crocheted constantly for many, many years. And I love to crochet with thread. I know that's nuts, but I do. And I actually, for many, many years, I made and marketed Victorian crochet items, and I sold them in markets and sales and things like that. And what I'm crocheting now is with thread, and I'll show that to you in a little bit. But first of all, let's start with our finished, or my finished items. I've got two. So the first thing I finished is these socks, finally. I had one done last time I think I did any kind of knitting, and now I've got the two. And these are the Cynthia Smorgasbord socks by Cynthia Wise. It's a free pattern on the internet. They're very textured. They have a lot of, you really can't, well, maybe you can see the patterning on here. They have quite a bit of patterning on there. They're really nice socks. They are done in not lace weight sock yarn. They're done in a DK on a 3.75 millimeter needle, I believe. And I made these out of a yarn that I got from Mary Maxim, and I think it's called Elements. I don't think they sell it anymore, and it's really nice. It came in a few colors, and it's sort of got its own shading going on. So yeah, finished these. These are actually a gift for somebody, and they will be leaving here quite soon. The second thing I finished was my wrap. My Sunday morning wrap. I might have to stand up for this one. So here is my Sunday morning wrap. I'm going to stand up. It's just a really long wrap, and I made it for fall, for wrapping. It's got a nice ribbing through here. It's a twisted rib that goes through every, I don't know, I think it was every 18 rows you do a twisted rib, and then it's got the twisted rib at the top. This pattern is the Sunday morning wrap by, who is this by? Oh, it's by Lisa di Fruscia. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. It's an Espace Tricot pattern. So you can wear this. I wanted it for this. This is exactly what I want it for, because sometimes when I am sitting and watching TV, or, you know, even going for a walk, I don't always want a sweater, but I want my arms covered. I'm not always cold, all of me, just the top of me. So this is great. You can also turn this into, you know, something to wear underneath your jacket. Like, there's lots of things you can do with this. And I made it out of Barocco Vintage DK. It's a DK weight. And I think I knit it on 5.5 millimeter needles. And yeah, it's lovely. I love it. It's not heavy. It's just soft and cuddly and warm, and I think I'm going to get a lot of wear out of this. And I think I'll probably be using it as much underneath my jacket in the wintertime as I will watching TV in the evening like this. So that's my Sunday morning wrap. I really like it. I think it's been, and it didn't take very long to do. I had it done quite a long time ago, but I just never got around to showing it to you. So that's my Sunday morning wrap. And I have a couple of pairs of socks that I'm working on. One is, oh, there went my needle. I have one done. These are also for a gift. And I'm just using my same old vanilla type pattern. It's called the Simple Sock Pattern by Allison Sarnoff. It's also a free pattern. And so I'm just using, this is, what is this? This is Patton's Croy, self-patterning. So I got one done, and I'm just starting the heel on another one. These also are for a gift. So I'm working on those, and I'm also working on another pair of socks, also for a gift, using the same pattern. These are going to be for a man, and I've just gotten this far. I'm at just about, no, I'm not. I got about 1.5 inches before I start doing the heel, and this is just the first of these. So I think from now on, my knitting will be mostly socks, because I like to give socks for Christmas gifts. And I think that, you know, this is about the time I usually start to really get into a lot of sock knitting. So I think from here on, I'll be doing a lot of socks. The other thing I did was I get the Hershners catalog. And I know if you don't live in the United States or Canada, you probably don't know about Hershners. But it is, I think, well, I've been getting the catalog for quite a long time. And it's got all handicraft kind of things in it. It focuses a lot on yarns, wools, cross stitch, all kind of the needlecraft things. And they often have things in that catalog that I can't find up here in Canada. We don't have any more big, other than Michael's, which is an American chain store. We don't have any big craft stores or any big outlet stores anymore. And so we have Mary Maxim, which if you're in Ontario, there is a Mary Maxim store there. But for the rest of us in Canada, that's just a mail order kind of thing, and I do buy stuff from there. Anyway, I got a Hershners catalog in the mail, and they're from Wisconsin. And I was just paging through it, as I always do, and lots of times I just get the catalogs and I just look, but I never ever buy anything. But this struck me when I got it. I mean, when I saw it. I'm going to take it out of the... There was this Afghan. It's called the Rose Petal Afghan, and it's a knit Afghan, and it was a kit, and I think it was something like $39 for the complete kit to make this Afghan. Now, it is acrylic. It's not wool, but I could not buy enough yarn here for $39 to make very much. Certainly not an Afghan. And I love these colors. I don't know. I looked at it and I thought, gee, that is so me. So I ordered it. And I think with the exchange and everything, it came something to $47 Canadian. I still could not buy enough yarn to make an Afghan for that kind of money. So for that, I got, excuse me 1 minute, I gotta get it off the floor. I got this full of yarn. There's 3 balls missing right now, but this was full of yarn. And the pattern, of course, came with it. And so I've been working on it, and I have done one. Oh, I meant to bring something so that I could open this up. I've got that much done. I just started, this is one repeat. So I'll be repeating the same thing 4 times. And I'm loving it. And the reason that this attracted me was, number 1, for the colors, but number 2, I have always really loved feather and fan Afghans, or the feather and fan stitch. I absolutely adore it. And I think it's because my mom made a feather and fan Afghan when I was young. And it was kind of on the couch all the time. And it was one of my very favorite Afghans growing up. I just really, and I'm not really sure if this is feather and fan, but it sure does look like it to me. So that was the second reason that I chose this. So I'm going to be repeating this 4 more times. And it's super easy pattern. There's only one pattern row. The rest is just knit and purl. It's a 4 row pattern, very easy to memorize. So yeah, this is what I had no intentions really of making an Afghan. I still got that other one. Sorry about the clock. I still have that one that I got for from Annie's Addict a few years ago, and that was a subscription. You get every month for a year, you get a pack of yarn and patterns, and it's kind of what would you call it? I can't remember. I never can remember. I get on the video and I can never remember what things are. Sort of a patchwork kind of thing. Different stitches. Every block is a different stitch, and then you put them all together. But this one is nice because it's all done in one piece. So that was kind of some madness spending. Hadn't planned on it, but now that I've got it, I love it, and I can't wait to finish it. Now, I'm not a person who knits and watches TV. I don't know why. If I'm watching TV, I'm watching TV. If I'm knitting or crocheting or stitching, I'm knitting or crocheting and stitching. I can listen to music, I can listen to an audiobook, but I can't watch something and do something. I just can't do that. So I keep thinking maybe I could try with this one because it is so easy, but I'll drop a stitch or something and then I'll be kicking myself. So I don't think I'll even bother. So that's what I've been knitting. The crocheting part is something I'm doing for my husband. My husband is a pastor, and he's doing confirmation classes at the moment. And when his students are graduating, he usually gives them a book, and I usually add something to it as well. And what I'm making is these bookmarks. This one actually has a mistake in it. I won't be giving this one, but I'll just show it to you. It's a little cross, and it will have a tassel on the end. I'm not finishing this one because see where the mistake is? I didn't join right here. Anyway, I have to make a whole bunch of these, and then I'm just using number 10 crochet cotton that I have on hand. And they're very pretty. They make a really nice little gift for his students to go with the book. I won't starch it. I'll use maybe some spray starch, but I won't starch it with stiffy or anything like that. So that's what I'm crocheting. And I have a lot of crochet cotton, tons of crochet cotton that I would love to get rid of. So now that I've been doing some more crocheting with cotton, I'm thinking I should maybe make something else and try and use up some of that crochet cotton. We'll see. So that's what I'm crocheting on. And I've been thinking about maybe crocheting some little pumpkins too. I've got some orange acrylic yarn upstairs that's sitting in the drawer, and maybe I'll make some pumpkins just for decoration around here. But we'll see. So whenever I'm on a site like Hershners or well, any of the yarn makers, most of the yarn makers and those yarny type stores like Mary Maxim and Hershners, they all have free patterns. If you scroll down usually to the very end, you'll find a bunch of free patterns, and Hershners has some really nice ones. So the first one I found, and I'm going to put a picture up here, is called PorchPillow. And it's a really cute cabled pillow. It looks like it's, you make 4 squares for each side and put it together. It looks really nice. So I think what I'll do, maybe if I have some yarn left over from my Hershners Afghan, I might make a couple of these to go with that. And the second free pattern is called Trio Toboggan Hats, and it's got 3 really cute toques or winter hats. So I'm going to put the link for both of those down in this description below, as well as I'll put the link for that kit as well down below if you're interested in. I'm not sponsored by Hershners or anybody like that. I'm sharing the information with you. So if you're in the mood for doing some hats or making a nice little porch pillow, go check out those free patterns. I mentioned that I had written a poem called The Knitter. So one evening when I was knitting on that new Afghan, I don't know, I started to kind of formulate a poem in my head, and then I went to bed and I couldn't go to sleep, and the poem was kind of continuing on in my head. I guess I did fall asleep, and then the next day I forgot that I was even doing that until about midday. It hit me that I had sort of started to write a poem in my head. So I went up to my computer, sat down, and I wrote this. So this is The Knitter, and this is for all you knitters out there. There is a certain time of day that knitters all enjoy. It's when they can retreat alone, where no one can annoy. It's when she takes her craft to hand and, unbeknown to her, repeats a process known worldwide that some, like her, prefer. On goes the lamp, the glasses too. She sits and rests a bit. It's been a crazy, hectic day, but now it's time to sit. She reaches down beside her chair, where a basket lies in wait. It's full of projects on the go. Currently, there are 8. Her hands now full, she leans way back and eases off her shoes. Up go her feet upon the stool. Time's now hers to lose. In her hands are cast on socks. 4 needles she does use. a pattern which is new to her, that's had some great reviews. A cup of tea sits by her side, it's steaming hot and sweet, will sit forgotten an hour or more, or when the row's complete. The clock ticks on, the house is still, the gussets now complete. A yawn sneaks out from puckered lips, she's feeling rather beat. She sets her knitting down again and stretches out her limbs. Time for bed and pleasant dreams. She rises and she grins. I hope you enjoyed that. So that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed that little blurb about my knitting. I have been working very hard on my stitching journal, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, back in May I think I did the first 4 months of the stitching journal, and I am almost finished August. August is taking me a little longer than the rest of the months have, because the other poem that I wrote is the whole month of August. I have handwritten that in my calendar, or in my stitching calendar, and now I'm stitching it, and it's all letters, and it's driving me nuts. So that's what's taking so much time. So as soon as I get that all done, I'm almost done. I probably in another week or so, I'll be able to have a video for you showing you from January to the end of August. I'm working on September already too. I have kept up with this stitching journal every day, and I'm excited now that I've only got a few more months to go. I'm already starting to think about how I'm going to put all of these together into a quilt. I have a few ideas, but nothing really concrete. It's not going to be a full-size quilt. I know that. It'll be a wall hanging type of quilt when I'm done. But perhaps when the time comes, I can get some input from some of you who are quilters. I'm just kind of at a loss at how I'm going to do it. If I'm going to, I don't think that I'm going to put a sashing between them, because I think that would take away from, I sort of want it to look like a really busy thing, but you'll be able to tell that it's months of a calendar because I've outlined each one differently. So I don't know, when the time comes, we'll discuss that, but that will be my next video in a few weeks. Right now, I am really busy putting things in, putting up all my vegetables and stuff from the garden. I've been in the kitchen more than anywhere, really. Tomatoes, I got tomatoes coming on my ears. I've been freezing them. I've been making chutney. I've been making sauce. And I'm still not done. I still have probably another, I don't know, 10 plants still out there producing like crazy. And so there's a lot of work being done right now, and I have to do it now because I don't want to waste my vegetables. So I'll probably be another couple of weeks before I'll be back, and hopefully by then all the garden will be put away and maybe not cleaned up, but for sure all the produce will be dealt with, and that's what I'm just really focusing on right now. So wherever you are, I hope that you're staying well, and thank you so much for coming along and watching me, and take care everybody, and I will see you again in a couple of weeks. Bye for now.